You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.
Live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report. Alongside Seth, Merrow, I am Anthony Mormino on another glorious morning at the spa. Thursday, August 25th, which means 16 years ago was Travers Eve, which means our son was born. So happy birthday to Anthony William, who turned 16 years of age. And I think I have a stop at DMV on my agenda later on this afternoon as he goes for the permit. Amazing how time has flown, and I said yesterday he has been a walk in the park. We're in the teenage years, but we're well into him now, and he has remained a walk in the park. And so happy birthday to young Anthony.
So you get in the car now, you could just press a button and it automatically parallel parks for you. So
He'll like that.
There's that part of the test.
Which I think when we were growing up, that was really the
was
test. The test was the parallel parking, and I had to parallel park behind a white Maverick. I made the turn, and the gentleman said, parallel park behind that white car up ahead. And I must have done it, because passed the test. Then you used to have to call with the little receipt you had to see if you passed. Now I guess they tell you right now. But, you know, beautiful day out yesterday. Prior to yesterday, today, beautiful day out today. Prior to yesterday, we had 5 races contested off the turf. Yesterday we had 5 by themselves. We had the steeplechase canceled, and in golf set, in match play, they would call it 11 and 10, and that is Capital Off Track Betting has sewn up. With 10 days remaining, we are 11 in front. So that's, I think, at least 2 years in a row, and I think 3 out of 4, maybe 3 years in a row, Capital has won.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And for you, do we need to get PricewaterhouseCoopers in to check out your ROI with the TU?
Yeah,
because
the TU
it doesn't
just
seem to be
right.
close. So
I go by what's on my Equidaily site, and that matches up with what goes on the OTB one sheet. But just the way there were a couple where the winners aren't right. Is why the ROI isn't right. But I think a couple of them.
What do you have, like 10 more winners then?
No, probably 5 or 6. But it was a couple. You know, on the turf races, you put a main track only on top, and a couple of times I think I scratched into the second main track only, which isn't listed. If you go to my site or pick up the one sheet, it's more comprehensive.
Because it's off like $50, $60. Like it's off a very large amount.
I'll have to go back and look. I just haven't been checking.
The reason I mentioned this I was on Equidaily.com, which is Seth's robust website, last night, and I was like, they have my man like much lower in the daily press every day. But kudos to Mike Callahan and Seth. It's a lot of fun, but we do try and win. Winning is better than losing, as I tell people. There's a reason we're keeping score. So, and the beat march is on to see if we can beat the meet. And but it's just beautiful out again. I mean, Travers Week is underway. Make sure you have plenty of toner and paper when you download Travers Day. 13 races. Going to kick off with what is often, talked about, which is that baby race. It looks like Chad Brown has a gun runner. Then, of course, all the magnificent stake races. I mean, it's just really a great day of horse racing here. And the one sad note that I think, Seth, and is, and I'm going to start keeping tabs, is how many horses this is the prep for the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
That this is, Saturday is front and center. We're going to see Jack Christopher going 7/8 in the Alan Jerkins, and obviously the Run Happy Travers Stakes with, Epicenter, who I think will be the clear favorite, I think. I was thinking that.
Yeah. Probably.
Not in my heart, but I'm thinking in my mind he's going to be the clear favorite. I think it's an interesting race. I think on balance, going 10 furlongs in the summer, we'll see how it shakes out. And New York Breeders' Day tomorrow, which has become somewhat the norm. I have no idea if we're going to run on the turf today.
I haven't heard.
I mean, if it didn't rain again, you have to think we're going to go. Also, a quick note yesterday, kudos to the bettors, because I've said this before, on these days where weather is a thing, boy, they knocked it out of the park. The first 6 races, they got the chalk. I think the pick 5 set came back about $53. I think the parlay was about $34. I mean, that's just incredible. And we had something in the late double we don't get very often, and that is both horses first off the claim. And I think the reason we don't often get that is usually the second to last race is the feature, and you don't get too many first off the claim. But Girl Dad, in the, as we somewhat suspected when we talked out loud, shortened to 1.25 miles, so shortened 3 furlongs. We thought that made sense because of where the poles are for 13, 12, and 11 furlongs. But Girl Dad, with no surprise, a distance of ground. This one on the dirt, Luis Saez and Mike Maker. Brilliant run to the line, and Girl Dad gets it.
Last race, Rudy gets another win.
Oh, my goodness.
Good for him. With Mariah's Fortune at a little bit of a price. I thought that horse deserved to be in the mix with the surface switch, so I was a little bit surprised at the $22 and change, but they had the triple boxed up there with my top 3, so nice result there in the finale if you played around a little bit. But yeah, it was overall, what is it, 5 favorites yesterday?
Yeah, right off the bat. The first 6, I think, are all the chalks.
Yeah.
From Gambling Girl.
No, second race was not the favorite.
Oh, Built to Last was? Okay,
Yeah.
so 5 out of the 6. And then you had Mount Travis, Girl Dad, and Mariah's Fortune. Nice closing pick 3. But interesting day of racing. And
who else but Mark Hennig says races are on the turf today.
That's who we expect. He's whatever it is, he's just quicker. And I've said this for years, and this is going back almost 20 years. If you remember, on Naira's website, on the upper right-hand corner, they used to have like a turf update thing. I never understood how they weren't the first ones to put out the information, as they controlled the information. But Mark Hennig and Dave Gretting almost always beat this. And here's one for you. I was looking at the pink sheet on Twitter. They've decided to take this year off.
Oh.
On Twitter. I'm like, because I was looking for some information. I thought that would be a unique place to go to, and they're having a quiet 2022. Apparently social media platforms aren't their bag, but
print media all around is slower, a little less than it was
5 years ago.
Yeah, even 5 years
That's
ago.
amazing. I mean, 10 years ago, it's a no contest. But even 5 years ago, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Anything else? We got numbers for yesterday?
Yesterday's attendance, 24,448.
Keeps on keeping on.
So, yeah, another nice day. I went downtown because I had the American Pastime folks on with me yesterday. And for the second year in a row, I've had them on in the morning to talk a little bit about their partnership. And that afternoon, boom, winner's circle. So they were saying, hey, can we be on every morning? Our horses running. But congratulations to them. But they also had they talked about it here.
Oh, by the way, also, we knew it. We put Gambling Girl in the winner's circle. Made it look easy.
No, top of the stretch,
And we said by 5, she won by 10.
Yeah,
No, it was just
it was
over.
But the America's Pastime folks had a little event down at Bailey's, and I said, yeah, I'll stop by after the races.
Nice.
Downtown. No, I couldn't find a parking spot.
No.
I circled around. I thought, I got work to do.
You saw the calendar, right? It's Travers Week. Yeah, you saw that, right?
It was super busy downtown.
It's begun.
Yeah.
And the weather, like I said, it's just been fantastic. So on the turf today so now we're up to 10, which is obviously such a low number as we get to the end, but we doubled up yesterday. So I'm trying to see here. Oh, and our guy, Phil Bauer. Somebody please tell Philip Bauer it's not this easy.
Another one.
It's not this easy. It is supposed to.
Oh, speaking of it, I had Phil on, and speaking of Phil and winners yesterday and being on the show, Todd Pletcher with 3 yesterday, and top of the hour, Todd Pletcher scheduled to be on Racing Across America. So should be a fun show. We'll also be joined by Mike Welch, the usual Daily Racing Forum slot, Mike this week. So we'll have Mike Welch on board. And then that tape piece I tried to pop in yesterday from the TRF barbecue on Tuesday night. We'll put that in towards the end of the program. But Todd Pletcher scheduled for 10 a.m. Racing Across America. So stay tuned.
Very busy man. Good get. Anything else?
I don't think so.
You ready for the Thursday? Often this used to be.
I think we should probably go to the play of the day, right? For 2 reasons. It's play of the daytime, and if we don't go, you may disappear.
I like you on the floor.
With your I have been in those.
So it's the DePaula play of the day?
I think so.
All right then.
When you think trucks, think DePaula.
Save this week. Drive Silverado, just $369 a month. Yes, $369 a month.
Then come join the family for value. Just visit, call, or click. So come join the family and think DePaula for all your automotive needs.
Hey everybody, time for the Thursday DePaula play of the day. Wednesday, bit of a washout with things off the turf. So turn the page from there and let's look at the 5th. A 20 claimer where Joe Sharp sends direct order, who's been very popular at the claim box, ticks up to 20,000 from 16. Makes a lot of sense in here, getting a ground saving trip with Luis Saez, who clearly Sharp is reaching for. And at 5-1, feels like the right kind of play of the day. Certainly his last pair here and downstate absolutely can get the job done. Direct order, the 1 horse in the 5th race, the DePaula play of the day. Good luck. Starting to get excited about Saturday's Travers. You should be. It's going to be a fun day, great weekend as the meet closes strong. Good luck, everybody.
When you think trucks, think DePaula.
Save this week and drive any new Chevy like Equinox with 0 down payment, 0 first payment, and 0 security.
Then come join the family for value. Just visit, call, or click. So come join the family and think DePaula for all your automotive needs.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Handicappers Report, coming to you live from Clara Court. It's Thursday of Travers Week also, and I know we had many favorites win early yesterday, but except for the John's Call, the pace setters did very well.
Yeah.
But and that's one of the reasons with my stats I like to bring in the price, because maybe they were just the dominant horses in the race, and maybe if they were off the pace runners, they would have won anyways. But I like to put them in conjunction that the favorites won the first, or the first or second trust won the first 6, and on the front end seemed to be good for everything except the John's Call. So we kick it off today. The opener, 6 furlongs, open company, 3-year-olds and up. Maiden claimers in for a tag of 20.
I have it 6, 4, 2, and 3. I put Monterey Peninsula on top. It's Wesley Ward. He does very well in the pertinent stats. First start, debut maiden claimer. It's a sprint. His horses always get out of the gate very well. This is a Wesley Ward-owned runner. So, again, this isn't a field of world beaters by any means, so I think a first-time starter with just a little bit of oomph maybe gets it done here. So I'll tilt in that direction. Supersonic, another first-time starter. This one for Robertina Diodoro. A little cool at the meet with limited starters, but again, by practical joke, and boy, that workout jumps off the page. Now, it was on July 30th, and we're not showing another workout since, so that leaves me a little bit leery. But again, it's the kind of field where I don't know whether you're going to fall on anybody with much confidence, as demonstrated by the morning line second choice of Necromancer. The morning line choice is Supersonic, but again, with that gap in the workout. We'll see. But Necromancer, experience counts, but you look at this field and you see the 8 starts. That may be a little too much experience to kind of really rely on and hang your hat on. Naked and Famous from Rudy. Now that Rudy had another winner at the end of the day yesterday, maybe things are moving in the right direction. The debut was good enough, with a good enough number to take a look at this one. But as I say, I'd tepidly go 6-4, 2-3 in the opener.
The buyer par for this race is 71. I'm not so sure I can see anybody reaching up.
I'm thinking they're going to have a bogey in this race.
This is going to be one of the lower ones. And I've talked about how, the fresh faces is a very popular angle, and understandably so. But I also keep stats on the most veterans in the group. Well, this most veteran wouldn't pay very much. It's hard to, Vinny 2 cents, the one from the rally's kind of hard to see getting the winner's circle. Naked and Famous start. The first race, the number is good. The finish is bad. So I went the outside with Seth in just a little different order. Supersonic, the offspring of Practical Joke. Seth makes a great point of, you seem to be ready to go after that last workout, and you probably would have been looking to go around August 7th or 8th after the workout. Well, it's August 25th, and okay, but it's good enough in this field, I thought. Monterey Peninsula, I know you're an East Coast guy, Seth, but if you ever want to go to the water on the West Coast, Monterey Peninsula is a very good choice. It is about as beautiful a part of the country as you will find. An offspring of the Factor on the outside, I think we'll have some early giddy up, and that could be beneficial. And for third, in between my top two, Moon Warrior making the second career start after debuting on turf at 9 furlongs. Michelle Hemingway adds blinkers, so 4, 6, 5 in today's opener.
Completely off topic from horse racing, but on topic for beach and that kind of location. There was a Nova on PBS last night of them moving a lighthouse on Martha's Vineyard. And you talk about modern engineering. They jack it up, put it on a rail, and it was on a cliff, and they had to move it about 100 feet. Again, modern engineering. It was just crazy. I imagine, I would think you can archive those. Worth watching, though.
I wonder how often they move lighthouse. I'm sure the erosion. Was that the thing? They had some erosion going on.
I missed the start, but they were right on the edge of a cliff, so I'm assuming the cliff was moving back towards them.
Don't want the lighthouse going in.
Yeah, because it was also tourism is all around this lighthouse now. So, second race this afternoon at Saratoga. Maiden specials going 5.5 on the grass. This is kind of a fun field.
I agree.
It's good to see how it all plays out and where the betting public winds up.
And 11 through 15 are AE, 16 is an MTO. And when you see this, it's hard to, you wonder how many were entered.
Yeah.
Because they'll only list the 16. There might have been 7 MTOs in here in addition, but only 10 can run. So we'll see how they go. And Seth and I have 5 of the 10 in the main body covered here. I am 10-4-5. If it remains as it is on the far outside, Playlist is my top pick for Wesley Ward, an offspring of Uncle Mo, who has had actually multiple workouts on the turf for their debut and seemingly has some early foot to go, which will be beneficial. For second, number 4, Lexi Spirit, who is 15-1 for Mark Henning. This has to be a good omen if you believe in such things. Now, we understand that through the years, Mark Henning and first-time starters have not gone hand in hand. He's now listed at 3% with the 33, so it's one winner, and then you can do the math. If you're 1 for 33 and your ROI is $4, well, you can figure it out that it was bombs away. But on the other side, I have to tell you that I almost put this horse on top. I mean, he reaches out for Javier Castellano. It's an offspring of Cantheros, who is very precocious runner. It's for Lee Lewis, and if you go back just about 30 years ago, Personal Hope winning the Santa Anita, I would suspect, without talking to Mark directly, this was one of his first clients when he went out on his own. So Lexi Spirit intrigues me very much. And 15-1 on the morning line for third, number 5. Can't Keep Me Down. Todd Pletcher's runner by the Factor. Irad Ortiz. We might be fortunate to get 4-1. 10-4-5.
I have it 7, 6, 5, and 10. I thought the 11, the first on the 80 list, was also interesting if that one scratches in for Chad and Klarovich. Rocket City on top for me, but that's going to be my dark horse play of the day, so I'll get a little more in-depth after we come back from the break on Rocket City, but interested to see that one debut today. Lady Coraggio in the second spot, Bill Mott runner, that I thought was working out okay. There's maybe a little bit of breeding. Still have more to find out on that side of things, but Lady Coraggio could be intriguing in here. Can't Keep Me Down goes out for Todd Pletcher in debut. The workouts seem okay, and I thought you could tilt in that direction, again, with maybe a little bit of breeding that was okay. Then Playlist, Your Horse. There's a sibling called You're to Blame that fifth in debut, then second, then one, then fifth, then one. So in the first five starts, second and a couple of wins. The other siblings, however, were not win early. Otherwise, I might have moved this one up as well. And yeah, if Reflexivity gets in, it's a Chad Brown Klarovich first, or I'm always intrigued there, and I think that one has some nice breeding also. But again, Rocket City, I'll go a little more in depth on that one. I think there's some interesting breeding from a win early outfit that could make the 7-horse intriguing in race number 2, 7, 6, 5, and 10.
And just as a note, I have 9 are live in this race. I think that the Christophe Clement Don't Look Back at All, number 8, is the only one, and that's a Clement with Flavia and Prod. So maybe all 10 in the main body are truly live. So you have that going for you in the second race today. On to the third. On the inner turf course, mile and a 16, 3-year-olds and up, in for 50. Non-winners at 2 life.
6, 5, 9, and 4. I'll put St. Joe Louis on top. Chad Brown runner, Joe Rosario on board. Comes up from a decent little try down at Monmouth when dropped in for the tag. So seems to have found, kind of the comfort zone in for the tag. That was a B condition claimer. This is an N2L. I think is going to fit snugly with this group today. And off that race last time down at Monmouth belongs in the conversation, certainly. Second slot, Hard Rye Guy. This one moving in for the tag. And I think with the class relief, I debated putting this one on top because I think the class relief definitely stands a solid shot of moving this horse to a better finishing position. So Hard Rye Guy in the mix also. In Ancient Times, this one's interesting. Comes out of some jump races for Arch Kingsley, including one right up here, where this horse took the lead. Now, will we get a similar speedball kind of a thing on the flat? I'm not sure that's going to be the case or not, but I just thought this was an intriguing move for this horse, stepping out of the hurdle races, having shown some speed in those races, moving in for the tag. So I'll put that one in with a little bit of curiosity and looking at the 12-1 morning line. I have it 6, 5, 9, and 4.
I was wondering if St. Joe Louis was entered on opening day and scratched. I'm trying to think if I remember, because this is a Kingman who I had some questions about. The reason I bring it up is because I thought I made the comment, could you remember a horse losing 4 consecutive races at odds on?
I remember that.
And I think that was opening day, and it would there haven't been too many horses with that record. Maybe the race goes through them, maybe it doesn't, but probably most people would say it did. I have Royal Spirit, first-time starter, 4-7-3 for me. Todd Pletcher's runner, makes the 3rd start since April 2nd. Tried allowance races, most recently runs for a tag for the first time. Draws Irad Ortiz in a good post position. Royal Spirit, my top pick. Number 7, Merci, first off the $35,000 claim off of a 4th place in effort on the main at a main turf course at a mile and a 16th. Makes the 5th career start today, and for 3rd, number 3, Brad Cox runner, first time in for a tag. The offspring of Arrogate, 4-7-3 in the 3rd. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more live from the backstretch of Saratoga.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops.
My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Birdstone is an outside front. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. In front, but here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Bob. These two arch rivals head to head with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish in the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
Having trouble finding us? It's actually quite simple. Whether online or on your TV, it's never been easier to watch and wager on championship horse racing with Capital OTB. Simply log on to capitalotbbet.com. There you can watch our morning shows, live stream races, and wager on our state-of-the-art wagering platform. You can also watch from the comfort of your home on Spectrum Cable Channel 1250 or Fios Channel 467, and win more with Capital OTB.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report on Thursday morning. After the first break means it's time now for the Dark Horse Play of the Day. The smart bet is always the Dark Horse. Dark Horse Play of the Day brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile, 445 Broadway in downtown Saratoga Springs. Tell them you saw them on OTB TV and stop down the street also at their sister store, Impressions of Saratoga. You'll be glad you did. Lots of great items to check out if you're downtown Saratoga. Today's Dark Horse Play of the Day, as alluded to earlier or stated outright earlier, race number 2, number 7, Rocket City. I looked at, I think, 5th race. I looked at the West Point horse, Dripping Gold. 5th or the 6th. It's coming up a little bit later on, though. Dripping Gold is a little bit of a price, too. I went back and forth, but I wound up here. Rocket City, 8-1. First-time starter for Steve Asmussen at 8-1, and the workout on the move to the turf last time got a little bit of a good rating, and I thought there was some nice win early here with Into Mischief on top. Into Mischief the sire, 86 first-time starters over the past, this year. 16 of those winners, 11 seconds, 15 thirds. Those are solid, really solid numbers. There's a sibling called Basking that won its career debut. There's another sibling called Diligent that was 3rd in debut and won the 2nd career start. So there's plenty of win early, top and bottom. Good report on the turf workout on August 21st. Asmussen can have them ready. I just thought at the 8-1, let's take a little shot in here and maybe have some fun early in the program. So the Dark Horse Play of the Day for this Thursday, race number 2, horse number 7, Rocket City, brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga Springs. All right, let's move on. Race number 4 this afternoon, maiden 75 claimers, 3/4 of a mile is the trip.
A reach here, but 2.53 for me. Nick Zito looking to get off, I guess, the duck for 22. First time started for one of his long-time customers, Mr. Bob LaPenta. This runner, Mr. Bob, paid $145,000 for it. 0 for 13 over the last couple of years for Nick with first-time starters. I don't think we ever really thought of him in his Hall of Fame career as, with the firsters. But I just thought that this runner was the horse. I thought some sharp workouts right away. And moderate follow-ups to that in this field for 75. For second, number 5, Secret Thunder. The Bolt d'Oro runner for Danny Gargan and Luis Saez. Sharp gate workout. And for third, number 3, Warman Road. Rob Atras sends out this runner for the debut with Kendrick Carmouche. It was 2.53 for me. You have the 2 in there.
I do.
Yeah, wow.
I have it 5, 6, 2, and 7. I put Secret Thunder on top. Danny Gargan, Tranny Gargan can have him ready first time out. The sire Bolt d'Oro, again, I think we're all kind of aware of, got off to a good start this year, but 42 first-time starters, 9 wins, 6 seconds, 4 thirds. Those are good, very good numbers. There's a sibling called Secret Czar, 2nd in debut, won the 2nd career start. Another sibling called Your Secret's Safe. That one took 9 starts to win. but in those 9 starts had the win, 4 seconds and a couple thirds. So I thought there was some precocity here. Sold at the Ocala sale back in March for a decent amount of money. Now that they come for a debut for less than that is clearly a concern, but there was enough here to think, yeah, this horse I think could be live in the debut. Royal Mover goes out for Todd Pletcher off a couple of not much efforts against Made Specials. Drops in for the tag. Might be enough to move this horse into a better position because experience counts. And in the 3rd slot, I did use Mr. Bob. I like Practical Joe quite a bit as a sire of win early types. And just looking at this field, it's not a super strong field. So a horse with just a little bit of ability may be live in here. And by Practical Joe, Mr. Bob may fit that description. In the 4th, 5, 6, 2, and 7.
On to the 5th, 3-year-olds and up claimers in for 20,000. Once around, a mile and an eighth.
Top of the page, I have competitive written. I think this is a competitive race. Our colleague Steve Bick made direct order his play of the day. I have that one right underneath. I went 5, 1, 7, and 8. Dust Devil on top for me. This is one of those races that for me is kind of a handicapping puzzle in that a few of these have races that are clearly good enough, but you have to go back 1 or 2 or 3 starts to find them. The last 1 or 2 or 3 haven't been quite as good, and you just don't know, does this horse have the potential to rebound, or are we just going in the wrong direction? That fits the bill with Dust Devil, who last time out tossed in a clunker down at Monmouth. But boy, you go down 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts. They're all solid numbers. They all fit nicely with this group. And with the drop in for the tag today, maybe we rebound to one of those better efforts. But the drop in for the tag also may say this horse is going in the wrong direction. But again, that's the kind of field it is for the most part. Now, direct order, on the other hand, seems to have fired some pretty good efforts recently. The most consistently good efforts of recent races. So off the claim, the confident move up a little bit. Mr. Bick may be onto something here. In a race where some of these are going to have to rebound, this one has put in some good efforts recently, including the race the horse was claimed out of last time, which was a win. Kumar in the 3rd spot. Again, last effort wasn't much. Maybe it was the sloppy track, so a fast track may help a rebound effort today as well. In the 5th, 5, 1, 7, and 8.
I am 3, 2, 1 in here, and I do recognize that amount is coming off of a poor effort, but I'll tell you one thing, in North American racing, and I know for stakes it's very prevalent, you know, Curlin as a stallion, these 9 furlong and 10 furlong races, he just is seemingly head and shoulders as a stallion above what we have in the mix. And I think, you know, as brilliant as he was going 7/8 in his debut, I think most of the stallions out there in the world now are miler types, and he kind of is a distance of ground one. Now, this horse won at Gulfstream going the 1-turn mile, and I'm going to forgive the last race and get a better price today with Jose Ortiz in the saddle, and I have number 3, Amount, on top. Gio Care, my second pick. Rudy Rodriguez, you know, we're not going to say getting hot, but he's now, you know, he won earlier in the meet the New York Bred Stakes race, and he won yesterday the finale, so that's a good sign. Irad took the mount for Gio Care for Mike Rapoli, and for 3rd, direct order. Very popular at the claim boxes. My math is right. 7 out of the last 12 races has been claim. Got a W going the 1-turn mile off the pace earlier in the meet. 3, 2, 1.
Race number 6, optional claimer, non-winners 2 other than. They're on the grass at 12 furlongs.
7, 8, 2. I love the 3-turn races, the turf marathons. You know, we've had years where horses have run off and led by like 15 lengths early in it, and I don't know I don't know if any of them have ever held on to win, any of those huge gap horses. It's always exciting though, because when they start to get wheeled in, they, you know, they get wheeled in. But I think there's a lot of strategy to these races on the jockey's part. 3, 7, 8, 2 for me. Light Star is one of my favorite horses of the day today for Christophe Clement, an offspring of the magnificent See the Stars. And, you know, you go back to when he was a runner, and, you know, he won the Guineas and the Epsom Derby. Hardly, you know, hadn't been done like in 25 years. Nowadays, you don't even get the same horses to run in those races. And as a stallion, he's become outstanding. Has Baid right now, second time United States, second start since October with Joel Rosario. I like the starts very much on today's card. For second, number 8, Rocky Sky. Chad Brown's runner. Couple layoff lines in here, makes the second start since May 30th. Just got beat up here. And for third, number 2, Beside Herself. I think this is a tough field in here. A big ass with a distance of ground. But we're inside. We have some tactical speed. And I think, Seth, you claimed it better. It's almost counterintuitive that speed is always good, but speed going long is the counterintuitive part about being a good thing. And 7-8-2 for me.
I went 8-5-3-1. I thought the 2. I agree. The 2 was very interesting. Just missed my mix, but I'll put Rocky Sky on top. Nice. I just have a feeling they're going to lope along, and this one can be in contact and then make a late run to maybe go by all of them, but unproven at this trip. So far in the career, so that's a little bit of a question mark that will have to be answered, but I'll put a little trust in that one to, as I say, be heard from late. Mia Martina in the second spot goes out for Grand Motion. This one does have some experience at longer distances over the past couple of races. Not so much to write home about last time, but the race 2 back certainly fits in with this mix, so I'll hope we get closer to that. Put in a decent try up here last year, so seemed to show some kind of an affinity for Saratoga. Queen Bourbon in the third slot, mile and 3/8 last time right here at Saratoga. An okay fifth. I mean, the number was okay. Paired up the same number as a winning effort 2 back down at Belmont, so I think this horse probably is going to fit with this bunch. Champagne Ivy, Beside Herself, also a little bit playable in here. No argument with Late Stars. I think that one, second start in the United States, has the potential to move forward a little bit. So another fun competitive race, but I have it 8-5-3-1.
All right, take a quick break. When we come back, the late pick 4.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Vartley and I'm here at the West Condominiums in Saratoga Springs. And guess what? We are down to the home stretch. Everything is 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. Come make a selection of one of the greatest condos ever to be built in Saratoga Springs. We're starting in the upper 5s and the only rooftop penthouse available now under construction. Wow, just look at this patio. We have a rooftop pool, heated garage, balconies, and a gym. Call me at 518-281-6808.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Handicappers Report coming to you live on the backstretch of Saratoga in front of beautiful Clare Court. We're up to the 7th race today, 3-year-olds and up. Entry-level allowance going to start at the top of the stretch on the Mellon Turf Course, a mile and 3/16.
5-8-1-7, and I said earlier, I'm going to kick myself if Dripping Gold gets it done. I will not kick myself hard, though, because we'll be playing Dripping Gold a little bit. That 10-1 morning line, very attractive for the West Point Shug McGahee runner. But I'll kick myself if this one gets it done and the other one doesn't, because I debated making that the dark horse play at the 10-1 morning line. Adds the blinkers, third start back for Shug. Nice improving numbers, start 1 to start 2. Clearly, they had some ambition for this horse last year off the debut effort, went up and tried the summer up at Woodbine, then laid off and came back as a newly turned 3-year-old and hasn't quite lived up to what we saw last year, but the last time did fire a lifetime best buyer It was a 7th place finish, but 3rd start back, and again, adding the blinkers. I find this one really interesting this afternoon. So I'll put Dripping Gold on top. Impulsiveness in the 2nd spot goes out for Todd Pletcher off a maiden victory here in the 2nd start of the career with a move to, the turf up here at Saratoga. So I think off of that scenario, this one is very live in here. I've mentioned it a number of times, though. Sometimes they'll take a start or two to figure out the next condition. But I will say the way this one went through the maiden condition, I think is going to be a square fit here today. James Jones in the 3rd spot. It's Peter Brandt and Chad Brown. Obviously, they had some expectations for this one as well. Debuted down at Tampa, the career debut, close up 2nd. And Chad was over there running a lot of the turf horses at Tampa this year. Then came back at Churchill, broke the maiden in the 2nd start, 3rd career start. Hey, let's try a stakes race. Didn't fare that well that day. Came back an allowance event at Monmouth, put in a good closing effort. It was just a little too late. I think this horse, again, like the other two I mentioned, is going to be really competitive with this bunch this afternoon. The Gray Wizard from Graham, first start in the United States, I thought was intriguing enough to make a case for that one also. But in the 7th, I have it 5, 8, 1, and 7.
7, 1, 9 for me. The Gray Wizard is my top pick for Graham Motion, who's got it rolling. 2nd start in the United States. Just got beat as the chalk down at Laurel, the United States debut. John Velasquez in the saddle. This is all the go signal for me at 6-1 on the morning line for 2nd. Drawing the hedge here as the rails are down. James Jones goes out for Chad Brown and Peter Brandt. Broke the maiden in May in the 2nd career start. Tried stakes action, then tried entry-level allowance. I think a good effort at Monmouth sets it up for this. And for 3rd, number 9, Modern Science. Ian Wilkes runner just got beat at Colonial most recently. Snow's Island, I think, is going to be tough in here. Made the opening day for yours truly. I think a very competitive entry-level allowance race. Shug having a good, solid meet, as you mentioned, with Dripping Gold, who has blinkers. But I think the Gray Wizard is set up for Graham Motion nicely here, and that's my top pick. 7, 1, 9.
Race number 8 this afternoon. Maiden special, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. They will travel 7 furlongs.
Yes, lots of marks on this page, and when all was said and done, I was 8, 7, and 4. Precursory is my top pick, making the 4th start of the career. Hasn't run since Independence Day. Bill Mott's runner and offspring of Ken Theros was a well-beaten runner-up, most recently going the 1-turn mile. Back-to-back, 2 most recent efforts with the 1-turn mile. Gets 7/8 today from a good outside stalking position. Some solid works since that Independence Day runner-up position. For 2nd, second choice of the morning line, number 7, Liquidity Provider. Klarovich, Chad Brown, 2nd career start. Just got beat at 3-1 on debut in late July at the Spa. And for 3rd, I guess for music fans, Lute Player. Chad Brown sends out this offspring of Into Mischief, first-time starter, Flavian Prat. What do you think of 6-1?
I'm hoping for it because I have it on top.
Okay.
I mean, there's another Chad in there, Chad Klarovich.
Yeah,
will take some money, so.
Yeah, you might.
With Irad.
So
I don't know if we'll get 6, but yeah.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, And it's funny because sometimes, like, I think with outfits such as Todd Pletcher and Chad most particularly, if they come out with the first time started at 6-1, it sounds good financially, but you're like, well, does the horse have 3 legs? You start to worry with that outfit. There's other outfits you're like, oh, they're playing them if they're 6-1, and that's I think it's probably only really applicable to Chad and Todd that you kind of get nervous if their firsters aren't bet. Can you think of another
I've
trainer?
said it before. I never get nervous.
Okay.
I love when horses go up, and
I
don't
do
necessarily
too,
disagree. But I, particularly up here, buzz comes out on horses, and so people may go in another direction. And I have said this many times. I'm more the other way. When you look at the page and you see an 8-1 morning line, and then you look up at the board and, oh, this horse is 3-5. That to me is very telling, as opposed to the horses that float up.
You know what my friend told me once years ago? It was one of the last breakthroughs I had for betting, as though I liked a horse who was about 12-1, and about 6 minutes later he's 18-1. My friend's like, go bet more. And he was right. And that's what that was a breakthrough moment for me.
And that's something that's worth thinking about or studying as well. Looking up the board in that first 2 minutes of betting and seeing the 3 to 5 shot or whatever that eventually floats up to about 5 to 2. And because that early money often seems to be telling. But I have a 4, 7, 8, and 5. Loot Player on top by Into Mischief. I mentioned his really good first out numbers earlier. There's a sibling called Orchestration that was second in debut, won the second start. So top and bottom, I thought some win early. Chad Brown, it's Peter Brandt. So I'll take the longer half of the uncoupled Chad entry, and the other Chad runner goes out for Klarovich. I'm always paying attention to those Chad Klarovich runners in debut, and this one just missed on July 27th up here, and I think off of that effort becomes very, very dangerous. And your Connect, I think, is also a very kind of sneaky win early sire. Precursory in the third spot. The start 2 back certainly touts this one as one to watch in here. Tizzy in the Sky coming off a pretty good debut effort and a nice little workout recently, also intriguing to me. But in the 8th, I have it 4, 7, 8, and 5.
Feature this afternoon, 9th race on the card. Restricted stakes race. This is 3-year-old fillies, the risk averse, going a mile on the inner. And Seth, we've had I would say about 4 of these, which are restricted to non-stake winners. And the other one of them seemed almost like a grade 2.
Yeah, those.
And 2 of them seemed like they were grade 3s. This is the first one that I've come across. Now, it's restricted to 3-year-old fillies, so how much could be on their resume? This seems to be, for the majority, actually a step up, that it really is a good spot for them, a restricted stakes, the risk averse.
9, 3, 6, and 5 for me. I'll 10 to 1. And again,
Whoa!
will we get that on Chad Brown and Klarovich, Faith in Humanity? I have faith in Faith in Humanity. Off a pretty good debut effort. And I wonder if, one at 7 to 5, and I wonder if the fact that it's only the second career start, was done down in Monmouth, will people look at this and will we get some live odds in here? Because, boy, I think, as you say, this is a field that they're all maybe getting a little bit of a test and moving on. This one certainly is off the debut maiden breaker. But I think it's possible to move a little bit forward from that, and if so, gets right in the thick of things here. So I'll put Faith in Humanity on top. Second slot is Skims. This one has been trying some graded stakes company and kind of been knocking at the door. Ran 5th in the Lake George up here most recently. But again, at this level and in this field, this horse with the graded stakes experience could prove to be very tough. Customer list goes out for Chad and Klarovich. Won the career debut at Monmouth last year, has put in a couple of starts so far this year that haven't quite lived up to that promise, but makes the third start back off an improved effort, start 1 to start 2 this year, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a very, very good effort from Customer List today. So for me, 9, 3, 6, and 5.
6, 3, 1, love the race. Customer List for Chad Brown gets my top pick, making the 4th career start. I'm throwing out the effort down at Penn National on a soft turf course in the seasonal debut. Got Lasix in the second start of the 3-year-old season. Got beat on opening day up here as the favorite. I think the 3rd race of the year, this is where we're going to see maximum good effort. So I have Customer List on top. For second, number 3, Skims. Shug McGahee's runner. Now, this is one of the few that's exiting graded stakes races consecutively, comes out of the Lake George. And for third, number 11, Wonka for Bill Mott, makes the first start since May 28th, 6, 3, 11 in the risk averse today. Now, just a quick note before we go to break. I was doing some quick math because yesterday we had the 5 off the turfers, but we had a clear, fast racetrack. We have only had 11 dirt races not contested on a fast dirt course. And I think 6 of them were one day early in the meet. And we're on a roll right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'll double check at the break. I don't think we've run a dirt race in August on an unfast race course. I'm going to look that up in the break. We'll be right back for the finale.
No matter where in the world you are, the excitement of wagering on horse racing is just a click away. You'll get live streaming, past performances, race replays, our virtual tote board, analysis and selections from professional handicappers, a simple, safe, and secure wagering platform, and best of all, you get track prices. CapitalOTBBet.com. Bet any place, anytime at CapitalOTBBet.com. And be sure to download our new mobile app from the iTunes Store or Google Play.
What if there was a way to become a better horse player, to have a better knowledge of the game, to be more successful? What if there were a way to take what you've learned, what you know, and make better decisions, better choices? In horse racing, knowledge is a powerful tool. Race results and replays, past performances and live streaming, wagering from all your digital devices. Capital OTB. Become a better horse player.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report, Thursday of Travers Week, and those Travers PPs are out. You can peruse those and get a little bit of a head start on
make sure you have
the
plenty of
action
toner
coming up on Saturday. What's that?
Make sure you have plenty of toner.
Yeah, no, it's
13 races.
Yeah, it should be a fun,
great day.
A fun Saturday. 10th at Saratoga on this Thursday. However, we're looking at conditional claimers going 5.5 on the grass.
625 to wrap it up for me. In Digital Future gets my top pick. Chad Brown's runner, first time in for a tag, first start of the year, listed as a new gelding with Irad Ortiz in the saddle. Second time taking on winners. The first time was the last year, the wrapping up the season. As it turned out, Allowance Company now comes back much softer for second. Number 2 after 5. Talked about the late double yesterday being first off the claim. First off the claim for Robbie Falcone, $30,000 claim from Wesley Ward. Late in the Belmont Park meet, only 2 starts this year to date. And for third, number 5, Jimmy Bond's runner, also first time in for a tag. Third start of the year, first one since May 21st, 625.
6, 1, 7, and 4 for me. Thought the 12 was a little bit interesting as well from Brendan Walsh, first in the United States. But I also put Digital Future on top. As you say, comes back off a layoff. Drops in for the tag. I could have gone either way with that thought, but excuse me, given what we saw so far, if this horse comes back with what we've seen, I think is going to be a square fit with this bunch. I almost use Spetro in the top spot because it makes that move that I like quite a bit, and I will certainly play around with this horse on the horizontals. I will definitely at the 6-1, but state bred Allowance into an open claim or open conditional claim even better. I talk about it quite a bit. A move I really like. So don't let that one sneak away. The number 1 Spetro from Tom Morley, and Uncle George in the third spot for Christophe Clement off a pretty good try last time. Nice closing effort. Also state bred Allowance into open claimer, so that one intriguing to me as well with the class move. I'll kick myself if one of those gets it done because I do really tout that class move quite a bit. But for me, in the 10th and final at Saratoga, 6, 1, 7, and 4.
I remarked earlier where I think, some of these stark ones where you almost think fire sale, they've worked out at this meet. They haven't been disastrous to the bettors. That the operations are dropping them in the right places.
There were a couple that really jumped off the page.
You're just like, this is sketchy.
Down the stretch, right. They're like, oh, okay.
A couple quick notes here before we get out of here for John DeSilva's Del Mar play. If my notes are right, Birdstone Day, July 28th, we had some off-the-turfers. Cousin Andrew won the finale in an off-the-turf. And Fearless won the Birdstone. That was the last day of dirt racing. So Cousin Andrew was the last horse to win a dirt race, not on a fast racetrack, on July 28th. As we sit here on August 25th, and if I was going to make the first bet of the morning, it would be that we would have a fast racetrack today. Yeah. Rather remarkable. Just remarkable. Up next, John DeSilva and his Del Mar play of the day.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.
OTB with your Del Mar play of the day. Today we're going to race number 7. Now wins to lifetime 32 claimer going 6 furlongs. Our top choice will be number 10, Merrow. Now this is a horse who began his career in Europe, came to United States, made the U.S. debut in April on the grass. Last 2 starts have been on the dirt. Made the route debut last time out, finishing 6th. Now drops to face condition claimers for the first time, makes first start as a gelding, and switches jockey to Florent Giroux. And this is a horse who has been working well and should stalk the early pace. Our second choice will be number 7, Seas Get Degrees. Now this is a horse that also drops to face condition claimers, has been running against option claimers. Last time out the horse did switch back to the dirt, chase the pace before tiring. Third choice will be number 2, Kataf. Now the Simon Callahan trainee broke the maiden 2 starts back and was claimed by Callahan. Last time out in Star Allowance Company, the horse did finish 4th, going a mile, cuts back in distance while facing condition claimers for the first time, and draws an inside post position. But to the inside that one will be our 4th choice, number 1, Wedding Groom. Now this is a horse to set the pace before tiring the 4th at this distance level when returning to dirt and going first start off the Steve Miotti claim. This is a horse who should set the pace and will try to go as far as he can, but I do think in the end this horse will get tired. So our top choices, our key horse, number 10, Merrow, for the 1 on the morning line. Bet this horse to win. Key him in your exotics, followed by number 7, Seas Get Degrees, number 2, Kataf, and number 1, Wedding Groom. Good luck with your plays today at Del Mar.